Hi, what are some great algo trading tips that you should incorporate in your trading today? Well, let's find out. Hi there, I'm champion trader Kevin Davey, and I've got some tips for you to help you with your algo trading. So the first tip is never assume trading is easy. I know that may sound a little weird, but the fact is a lot of people out there tell you how easy it is. Oh, you just buy and sell and use the green signals and the red signals and all this bull. The fact is trading is really tough. If it was easy, everybody would do it, everybody'd be making a lot of money, and then there'd be no losers. And remember, your winnings come out of someone else's pocket when you're trading. So if there's no losers, there's no money in it. So always remember that trading is hard. Treat it not like a hobby, but as a profession. Even if you do it part-time. You'll thank me for that one. So the next tip is the use of stops. A lot of people like stop losses in their strategies, and I understand that. But realize a lot of professionals don't use stops. And usually, when you put stops in your strategy, it makes the performance worse. So a lot of people like the protection that stops provide, and that's fine. It's a great psychological help. But just remember, a lot of times using stops will make your performance worse. And if there's a catastrophe or disaster, stops probably aren't going to help you anyways, because the markets will close, there'll be no other side of the market, and the price will blow right through your stops. The next tip is to always include trading costs. I can't tell you how many people I see put up equity curves and they don't have commissions built in and they don't have slippage built in. Now, obviously with stocks, you don't have to worry about commissions as much anymore, but in the futures market, you still do. And regardless if it's stocks, Forex, or futures, you have to put in slippage costs. Those are real world costs that have to be accounted for. And if you don't account for slippage, your strategy is going to look a lot better than it actually is. So make sure you always include commissions and slippage in your analysis. And if you see somebody who shows you an equity chart without it, it's best to ignore that equity chart because it's overly inflated to the positive side. The next tip is not to forget about risk. So many people build strategies and they only look at profit, but they don't look at the downside. They don't look at the drawdowns and the quick drops and all that in an equity curve. And I'll tell you what, that's what makes trading difficult, are the drawdowns. Hitting peak after peak is easy, right? But when you have to endure those drawdowns, that's when you're really tested. So make sure any strategy you trade, take a look at the equity curve and make sure you can handle those drawdowns. And probably worse drawdowns. And if you can't, don't trade it. The next tip is to do out of sample testing. Whether you do walk forward testing, out of sample testing, or something else, make sure that you've tested your strategy on data that you've never seen before. So meaning, if you optimize over the last 5 years, let your strategy run for a while in real time and see if it continues to do well. You might find it doesn't. That's why you do out of sample testing. It's testing that incorporates new data that you didn't have when you built the model. And that's a big deal. And the last tip is don't forget about exits. So many people are focused on entries. If you look at my past videos, you'll see entries are always the most popular videos because everybody wants to get in the market and people don't put enough time into thinking how to get out of a market. You know, you can use a stop loss, a profit target. You can have break-even stops. You can have time-based stops. There's all sorts of things you can do. The thing is, you should test them and see what works best. Different strategies, different entries will work better with different exits. Make sure you take time to look at your exits. Don't assume that you don't have to put any thought into them, because when you put some thought into them, you might really improve your system. Well, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment. What are some tips that you've learned that have helped you? I'm Champion Trader Kevin Davey. Thanks for watching.